John Ulzheimer is known as one of our nation's most recognized credit experts. Having worked for 28 years in the credit industry, John has become one of the most prolific speakers about credit and the go-to authority on answers to credit-related questions. Credit Countdown with John Ulzheimer.
Hello, this is John Ulzheimer. I am a consumer credit expert with almost 30 years of experience in the credit industry. I have spent time at FICO, which is the company behind the FICO credit scoring system, and Equifax, which is one of the 3 generally recognized credit bureaus in the United States. So today we're going to talk about the use of a credit card for credit building. And it's one of the common ways that consumers tend to build credit is to use a credit card account to do so. So how do you build credit by using a credit card? I love this as an option, and here's why. The credit card, and I'm going to blow your mind with this, the credit card is one of 2 types of credit where interest is optional. You're not required to pay interest on a credit card account. It is entirely optional. It's up to you to determine whether or not you are going to pay interest on a credit card. You can't say that about a student loan. You can't say that about a mortgage. You can't say that about an auto loan unless you get a 0% APR on your auto loan, which you can't get on all makes and models, and you certainly can't get it on a used car. So, however, the credit card, and the other one, by the way, you're probably wondering what the other one is. The other one is a home equity line of credit. You can choose to not pay interest on a home equity line of credit. But otherwise, as far as the commonly used methods of credit, the credit card, it is optional to pay interest. So how in the world am I able to say that? Well, it's actually very simple. Interest on a credit card only accrues if you carry a balance from one month to the next month. If you pay your balance in full every month, then your interest rate is irrelevant because you're not paying interest, because there's no balance with which to assess interest or to which to assess interest. So I love the credit card as an option for building credit. Now, there's a variety of ways you can do this. You can either apply for a credit card on your own, and you may or may not be able to qualify for it depending on the status of your credit reports and your credit scores. If you've got good FICO scores, if you've got good Vantage Score credit scores, then you may be able to get a credit card on your own, and then boom, you're well on your way to building credit. However, if you don't have good scores, then you may have to have someone co-sign for you or have someone add you as an authorized user. Either way, the goal when it comes to building credit is to get something positive on your credit report. Now, how do you go about doing that? Obviously, you have to work with lenders that are going to report information to the credit reporting agencies. Most credit card issuers do have subscriber agreements with all 3 of the credit bureaus, and they will report to all 3 of the credit reporting agencies. If you choose to do business with a credit card issuer that does not report to the credit bureaus, and it's almost like the tree falling in the woods. No one really heard it. No one really cares about it. So you're definitely going to want to focus on lenders that do report to the credit bureaus, because that's where credit building really begins, getting something positive on your credit report. Now, if you are able to get credit card accounts on your credit report, either in the form of an authorized user relationship, there you go, that's probably better, or you're able to get a card on your own. Now remember, this can be a Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover, it can be a gasoline card, it can be a retail store credit card. It doesn't really matter from that perspective. As long as you're getting stuff good on your credit report, then you're building a credit report. And you're going to eventually be able to have a good credit score, assuming you manage the cards properly. And so that kind of dovetails nicely into the second component of using a credit card to build credit, is what is the best way to do it. So getting something positive on your credit report is really step 1 of a multi-step process. The second thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you manage those accounts in such a way that the information that is on your credit report is really saying good things about you. So that means having accounts that are always paid on time. That's almost not negotiable. You've got to make sure that the information on your credit report is in good standing. So that's number 1. That means paying bills on time. Number 2, you really would like to keep the balance as low as you possibly can relative to the limit, because that ratio, that relationship between those 2 figures is actually very important in your credit score. It's called revolving utilization. You want that ratio to be as low as possible. Third, and this actually flies under the radar quite a bit, and it really bothers me that people tend to ignore this, is you want to keep the number of credit cards with a balance as low as possible. You can have as many credit cards as you want, but you don't get penalized by having a lot of credit cards. You get penalized by having a lot of credit card debt, and you get penalized by having a lot of credit cards with balances. You don't get penalized by just having a lot of credit cards. So if you do have a lot of credit cards, pick one or two that you like. The rewards program is good, whatever. Got good usability. It's generally accepted everywhere you go, and just stick with those. Put the other ones on a revolving door strategy. Use them from time to time just to make sure they're not closed because of inactivity, but you do not want to spread a bunch of small nuisance balances across a bunch of credit cards because you can be penalized in FICO and VantageScore's credit scores for doing so. So those are really good tips with respect to the use of credit cards for credit building. So good luck with that. I'd love to hear how you do. Drop them in the comment section below and I'll be happy to jump on them. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk again soon.
For more videos and credit tips from John Ulzheimer, go to www.tradelinesupply.com.